Hey, what's up everybody, it's your boy Proftroff, and today we're reacting to another video by TierZoo. This time it is, what's the best human support class? Now let's think about this. A dog for me is probably the best one. I definitely think dog is S class. He's probably gonna rate them by how useful they are now. So horse is probably gonna be A or B. Cat, is cat an S class? Nah, I'll throw cat at A class. I mean, everyone loves cats. You know, they reduce stress and all that good shit by petting them. It's been proven. But I mean, fuck cats though. Cats are cunts. Like, I love cats, but they're fucking little assholes. 99% of them. Like dogs, dogs are angels, unless you're an asshole. What else is there? Maybe animals we use for food, chickens and all that good shit, and pigs and stuff, but I don't know. I wouldn't put them that important for the average human nowadays. Back in the day, it was pretty fucking important. Yeah, I think dog is S class and everything else is
This
A
episode
class.
was sponsored by Skillshare.
That's what I think. Let's check it out, see how accurate that shit is. Oh, bro, what the fuck? Yo, guys, you do not want to get kicked by a horse. Like, if you're gonna fuck with the horse, at least stand somewhere besides him where it needs to turn around in order to kick you.
Humans have the ability to party up with players from other factions. This isn't a unique ability. Plenty of builds can execute powerful
What the fuck is this? Yo.
Plenty of builds can execute
Bruh.
powerful team combos that benefit both players. But humans have by far the most options when it comes to choosing which support class they want to enlist in.
Oh yeah, hamsters are useless.
I've already made a video discussing the two most popular choices, cats and dogs. But
Why would anyone ever get a hamster as a pet? They die in like what, 5 days? Well, it's not 5 days, but they die real quick. You can't pet them because they're like extremely prone to getting stressed by other people, and they just stay in a cage. And they're assholes. I understand they eat their babies. Like, who does that shit, bruh?
I think it's worth giving the more niche support classes a video of their own.
And fish is kind of the same for me. Like, why get a pet like this? I mean, you're just gonna look at it and feed it. That's all it does. Look and feed. Basically a cat. But at least the cat lets you pet it from time to time.
I'm going to split
you
them
know
into
what I mean?
3 categories: mounts, battle summons, and companions.
Battle
Mounts
summon.
are characters that players can combine with to form a more powerful battle unit.
Bro, you see
The
this
most
shit?
popular example of this is the horse, and for good reason. Horses have high base power and mobility, and also have high enough stamina regeneration to be useful for fast traveling. In combat, horses can deal high burst damage using their kick move, which is powerful enough to one-shot midweight players. Now, one thing about mounts is that in order for them to work, they have to have spec into the social abilities, but they also need an intelligence level that's a good...
Wait, what? Horsepower, hoof. So normal horse have social, allows formation of clans, unlocks domestication. Oh, zebras. Well, zebras are asses, right? Like donkeys, kind of closer to donkeys than horses. Or do I have that wrong? They have hypnotic stripes, lowers accuracy of incoming attacks. Is that actually how that works?
Now, one thing about mounts is that in order for them to work, they have to have spec into the social abilities, but they also need an intelligence level that's a good deal lower than the human player in order for them to gain full control. Horses happen to fit this criteria perfectly. Humans have tried allying themselves with other similar builds, with a lot less success. Anyway, it's important to know that horses aren't the perfect mount. Their most obvious flaw is their extremely low HP. Most animals can recover from slight injuries, but horses will actually get a game over if one of their legs gets broken. So if low mount HP isn't your thing, I would actually recommend the elephant instead. Elephants are the tankiest land build in the entire game, even being able to shrug off hits from a charge.
I thought the intelligence was supposed to be a lot lower than humans.
Your thing, I would actually
Elephants are
recommend the
smart as
elephant
fuck.
instead. Elephants are the tankiest land build in the entire game, even being able to shrug off hits from a charging rhinoceros. Of course, opting for the elephant is a huge sacrifice in terms of mobility. Not only are they much slower, but elephants also don't have access to the move jump, meaning they get hard countered by any obstacles. These mounts are by far the most powerful, but if you need to fast travel in a server that has a special environmental damage effect, like let's say the Arctic or the desert, you'll need a mount that can resist those effects. For the desert, your best option is the camel. Camels have heat resistance, don't incur the blindness debuff from sandstorms, and can store reserve stamina using their hump ability. They also have one more bonus ability related to their upkeep cost. Now, as the human player, it's your job to make sure that the support player isn't wasting their time working for you and getting no XP in return. So you have to provide that XP, and different builds require different forms. Horses are pretty simple, they can feed on grass or grain basically anywhere, and so they have a relatively low upkeep cost. Elephants, on the other hand, require massive amounts of food to maintain, so they're really impractical doubles partners, as they'll either need to spend most of their time foraging, or require you to split most of your best loot with them. Getting back to camels, they have the same relative ease of upkeep that horses do, but with the added benefit of being highly resistant to the defense mechanisms of cacti. Cacti are worth a ton of XP if you can get past them.
What? Camels can eat cacti? Cactuses?
Cacti are worth a ton of XP if you
Yeah, I
can
mean.
get past their powerful defense mechanisms. Camels can straight up ignore the damage from cacti, so this is a huge advantage if you're trying to traverse desert servers, where cacti may be the only loot available. Camels are also no slouch when it comes to combat, being more than capable of fending off attacks from midweight characters like dogs and rams, due both to their height advantage and their surprisingly powerful bite attack. All three of these builds make awesome additions to your party, greatly increasing the survivability and defensive capability of your group. But sometimes it's not survivability that's the problem. Sometimes human mains need another player to cover their bad matchups, which, as covered in my video Are Humans OP, tend to be the builds that are small and evasive, difficult to hit even with projectiles, and able to not only outspeed them but also outmaneuver them by burrowing or perching in trees. This is where they can really benefit from the second category of support class, what I call battle summons. Battle summons are players that humans can party up with in order to deal damage on targets they normally struggle to do so against. This type of support is typically only useful on offense, so if you're trying to defend an objective, like say a field containing loot that you're growing, you might want to opt for a different comp. Perhaps the best example of this is the raptor. Since humans don't have the ability flying or reach, it's essential that they party up with a raptor to
I
best
did not
deal
even
with
think
other
about
flyers.
this.
Of course, because birds have hollow bones, it'd be pretty irresponsible for a human to command their bird teammate to attack any large target that could counterattack with blunt force. But then again, humans generally don't need help in that matchup. Perhaps one of the most effective team combos in the game consists of the human, the dog, and the raptor. The dog can use their high-level smell abilities to find players that are using stealth. And then when they try to flee, the raptor can use their high damage and high accuracy pounce strike to score the finishing blow. One thing birds...
Yo, I wonder how hard are hawks to be trained. Like, how hard is it to get it domesticated?
The dog can use their high-level smell abilities to find players that are using stealth. And then when they try to flee, the raptor can use their high damage and high accuracy pounce strike to score the finishing blow. One thing birds can't do though is reach players that are hiding underground, and this is where the ferret battle summon comes in. The ferret matchup against burrowing builds like rabbits, rodents, and snakes is hugely favored, and humans can use this to their advantage since they, like birds, don't have any immediate counterplay options when their opponents burrow where they can't reach.
Is this a real thing? People actually use ferrets to hunt rabbits? What?
It's hugely favored, and humans can use this to their advantage since they, like birds, don't have any immediate counterplay options when their opponents burrow where they can't reach. This tech was first pioneered by human mains on the Egyptian server.
Ferrets were used to keep granaries free of rats and mice. As for pets, okay, it contains further stuff.
Okay, so the last type of support is what
I
I'll
did
call
not
the
know that at all.
companion type. And this is
Wow.
where the definition of support begins to kind of fall apart because humans can party up with basically anyone else and at least get a slight morale boost. There are plenty of builds that make great companions, but there are a few that I'd recommend avoiding. I'm going to break these down into two categories. The first is builds which humans can't effectively support, and the second is builds which curse their party members with a charisma debuff. For the first group, I want to highlight two builds. The first is the octopus. Many players assume that due to their high intelligence stat, octopi would make great party members, but the main thing to remember is that in a companionship, the human player is also the moral support role for their non-human counterpart. The higher the intelligence level of your support player, the more attention they require. And as discussed in other videos, cephalopods are among the top intelligence builds in the game. The issue here is that because octopi and humans can't really cross over into each other's natural servers, there aren't many good options for either of them to support the other. And as a result, octopus players often try to terminate the relationship and escape the base that humans provide for them. But unfortunately,
Makes
this
sense.
also ends up terminating their current playthrough since they lack the lungs ability.
They can die of boredom?
The next build on our list also has the same issue of having too high of an intelligence stat for its own good. Parrots don't have the same issue of being unable to cross over into the human server, but they have an even higher intelligence stat than octopi, and since they're a highly social build, they require even more attention and support than octopi, actually being comparable to a low-level human player. While they do have a pretty high morale boost potential, nearly on the same level as cats, they require so much attention that humans can't effectively function as their teammates unless their skill tree has allowed them to work from home. Admittedly, this build does have an above average presence in the high scores, but I'd chalk that up to popularity bias. Okay, now for the second category. It's an unfortunate fact of reality that the stat bonuses that a teammate gives you aren't always desirable, and there are many which actually incur negative stat changes, especially to charisma. Human players who party up with arthropods and certain reptiles often experience this, mostly because arthropods
Bitch, what the
have a
fuck?
high intimidation level that runs
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? God, I'm not even gonna watch that shit again. God damn, bro.
often experience this, mostly because
Oh,
arthropods
my
and
dick is
snakes
not
have a
nowhere
high
near that
intimidation
mouth.
level.
God, Jesus.
Often experience this, mostly because arthropods and snakes have a high intimidation level that runs completely contrary to any charisma skills that the human player attempts to use. While this can work really well for deterring other players in most biomes, in the
Your spider is actually that fucking stupid. Jesus, look at the intelligence stat on this thing.
deterring other players in most biomes, in the city biome where most human mains play, pretty much every important quest and achievement will be harder if you have low charisma and high intimidation. So in my opinion, the downsides greatly outweigh the potential upsides. I know I didn't cover every potential support class, so if you have experience with one of the ones that I left out, I encourage you to leave a comment detailing what you think their pros and
Wait,
cons
he's not gonna mention cats and dogs?
are. At the end of the day, I have yet to see any good arguments for any support rivaling the incredible usefulness of the dog, a topic I covered in this video here.
Oh,
Dogs
he
are
has
also
another
the
video for
only
it.
teammates that actually give humans a charisma bonus, which basically elevates them to god tier on the support tier list. Teamwork is a difficult
Wait, so he puts cats as well into S tier? I mean, cats are pretty good to getting rid of little rodents and shit, so I guess maybe I can see it. Like, you definitely need a cat on a farm and stuff like that. I can see it.
elevates them to god tier on the support tier list. Teamwork is a difficult skill to
Wait.
master.
Why is the chicken only a...
Teamwork is a to god tier. on
Chicken's
support.
only a D tier? We had chickens when I was little. The fucking eggs are dope as hell. Come on, bro.
Teamwork is a difficult skill to master. But if you need to learn new skills, let me tell you.
Yeah, Skillshare. Okay, we got it, bro. Anyway, what you guys think about this list? Do you guys agree with him on the what's the best? And what do you guys think? Cats or dogs? Cats or dogs? What do you prefer? I'm definitely a dog person. I don't mind cats. Cats are cute as fuck. But if I had to choose between a cat and a dog, fuck dog all the way, bro. Dog all the way. Anyway, that was What's the Best Human Support Class by TierZoo. It's your boy Prof. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down your thoughts on the video. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a nice day.